Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be doing this setup here for an Eid Al-Adha celebration. So this is actually the second event that I've had the privilege of doing for this amazing community. I know I've made a promise and I've mentioned in my last few videos that whilst I'm showing you how the actual event came together, I will also be sharing some quick tips around balloon decorations or event styling. But before we get started, please don't forget to either subscribe, like, or just drop me a comment so I can follow up on your comments. Now, whilst you watch me put the setup together, I just want to answer a question that keeps popping up from my followers. I've actually been asked this question several times recently, so I just thought maybe it would be helpful for me to answer it here. The question that I keep getting is, how far in advance can you blow up your balloons before an event? To be very honest, personally, I don't like inflating balloons on the day of the event if I can avoid it. So preparing my balloons ahead of time saves so much time, and it just allows me to actually focus on either shaping or styling or bringing the final details to my event. So I'm always looking for ways to be more efficient and just trying to avoid spending a lot of time on tasks that I can actually or easily do beforehand at home. Somehow we tend to have a limited amount of time to set up before guests actually start arriving, and sometimes there's no option to gain like earlier access to the venue. It's either because they don't open that early or that would mean some additional cost to the client. So if you do have a lot of things going on at the same time, you can definitely inflate your balloons several days before an event. However, it's actually important to remember that balloons, they naturally oxidize over time. So the rate of oxidation actually depends on the balloon, either the colors, the balloon quality, or whether the setup is being done indoors or outdoors. So there are a few factors that you have to consider as well. I've actually noticed that black balloons tend to oxidize a little bit faster than any other balloon color, especially for outdoor setups. Whereas some other colors, they do maintain their shine for a little bit longer. So my advice is, if you're planning to inflate balloons ahead of time, just make sure you store them properly. I do place my balloons in a large plastic bag. So you can either get those big mattress bags. They really do the job well. And nowadays, there are actually some balloon carrier bags that are specifically designed for this purpose. So just make sure you can invest in one if that's an option. Otherwise, you can always make shift. And if you decide to use those mattress plastic bags like I do, just make sure that the bags are as airtight as possible and just keep them away from the direct sunlight. So when I'm extremely busy, like really busy, and I have back-to-back events, I usually inflate my balloons up to a week before an event, especially if they're double stuffed balloons, and they will still look great on the day. But if I only have like one event that weekend, I usually inflate them a couple of days beforehand, should be fine, or a day before. So it just also gives me enough time to check that I have sufficient balloons, and you don't want to actually run short on the day because that's the worst thing that can ever happen. Another question that I've been asked is, how do you actually know how many balloons you need? Personally, I do estimate based on the type of the backdrop that I'm working with. And obviously, you have to know the final style that you're either aiming for or what the client is aiming for. Just as a general guide, I usually work with approximately 30 to 40 balloons per meter because this just allows me to create a nice full garland without overinflating my balloons. I do also make some extra quads just to add the fullness and the shape of the design. For anyone new to this balloon decorating thing, a quad is simply 4 balloons that are kind of twisted and then you just tie them together. Anyway, guys, just coming back to today's event, this is how the actual balloon garland turned out. I absolutely loved how this setup came together, and I'm so grateful to have been trusted once again by this wonderful community. So guys, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below, and I'll do my best to answer them in future videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll continue sharing some tricks in upcoming videos. Stay tuned for the next video. Bye for now, and God bless you all. Bye.